No one can reach out and help the kids we serve if they don't know who they are. The people who are funding you, the people who are going to be donating or coming to your events or volunteering for you aren't going to know who your kids are unless you let them know. They will look at them as those kids, the kids on the sidewalk in front of your shelters or in front of your offices who might look threatening, who might look other, who might look like those kids. And I wanted our book to be able to put a name and a face to those kids so that people would understand them and come to love them the way we did. So I learned that particularly from Crayana, a young mother in New Orleans who was a refugee from Katrina. Her mother had died when she was 2. Her father went to jail when she was 7. She was raised by a grandmother who didn't love her at all. It was a Cinderella story. She was made to do all the cleaning. She was told she'd never amount to anything. She'd never do anything but work at McDonald's. Her aunt and uncle stole her clothes from her and sold them for drugs. And she had everything going against her. And she got pregnant at age 16 and then decided to come to Covenant House, where she's now graduated and living on her own. She's about to buy her own house. She's in college, and she's working on the board of an agency that works with vulnerable children. So what I learned from Crayana was that I needed to show her real light and her specificity to get people to love her as much as I came to love her. And it all happened in like 1 second. Her father had hit her really hard in the chest when she told him that she was pregnant. And she was concerned that maybe he was trying to cause her to have a miscarriage. And over time, and with the help of Covenant House, they were able to develop a working relationship again. So many of the kids we work with go back to their families, require going back to their families on a cellular level. They feel that they've made mistakes, and that's why the families fell apart. They want to go back and make it right. So she was, even though it wasn't her fault that she was in the situation she was in, she rebuilt that relationship to the extent that her father had signed a contract that he would babysit, but he would always bring the child back or else the police would be called. They set these boundaries, they built trust, and now they have a working relationship. So I was sitting with her in a restaurant in New Orleans, interviewing her, and she had her 3-year-old with her who's adorable, and she's tracing his name in dotted lines so that he can get practice writing his name. They had little crayons on the napkins, and all of a sudden her phone rings, and she looks at him and she goes, "Oh, your people are calling for you," as if he were some sort of celebrity and it was his agent calling, but it was actually her dad who was wanting to babysit and trying to figure out, when they could make the arrangements. And I thought that little second just showed her humor, her love for her kid, her work that she had done with her father, and it made her into somebody other than that kid. She was Crayana. She was a lovable human being, and I wanted people to know all about her.